Once upon a time, a young woman named Maria lived in a small town by the ocean. The sea was her favorite place in the world. As a child, Maria spent her days running along the shore, exploring rock pools, and watching tiny fish dart around in the clear water. To her, the ocean wasn't just a big body of water. It was a magical world filled with life and mystery. As she grew older, Maria's love for the ocean only grew stronger. She decided to study marine biology so she could learn more about the creatures she loved. After years of hard work, Maria got her dream job at a marine center. Her favorite part of the job was working with stingrays. She loved how they glided through the water like they were dancing. Maria often spent hours observing them, feeling amazed by their grace and beauty. One sunny morning, Maria got ready for another exciting day at the marine center. The ocean sparkled under the golden sunlight, and the soft sound of waves seemed to call her. She arrived early, eager to begin her favorite part of the day, working in the outdoor section where sea creatures lived in a natural environment. As she walked by the water's edge, something caught her eye. A large stingray was hovering in the distance, its eyes locked on her. Maria smiled, used to the curious gaze of these graceful creatures, but this one felt different. It stayed still, watching her without moving closer. While the other stingrays usually glided up to greet her, this one kept its distance. Brushing off the unusual moment, Maria focused on her tasks, feeding the animals and carefully gathering data for her research. Later that day, after finishing her tasks, Maria decided to enjoy a peaceful swim in the open sea. This wasn't for work. It was just for herself. She loved how the ocean felt like a different world, far away from the busy sounds of everyday life. Dressed in a simple bathing suit, Maria stepped into the cool water. The waves gently welcomed her as she swam farther from the shore, letting the sea's calm rhythm guide her movements. From the water, she could see her friends near the beach, laughing and playing under the warm sun. Maria waved at them, but they were too far to notice. Surrounded by shimmering sunlight and the soothing ocean, she felt completely at peace. Everything seemed perfect until suddenly something brushed against her leg. Startled, Maria froze and looked around, but all she saw were tiny ripples on the water's surface. A moment later, she felt it again. A soft nudge, deliberate yet gentle. Her heart began to race as she turned to see what it was. Behind her, a large stingray swam gracefully, its dark eyes fixed on her, as if it had something important to share. Maria felt her heart race as the stingray followed her through the water. Every time she kicked, it got closer, its smooth body gliding silently beside her. Fear gripped her as it brushed against her back, sending chills down her spine. She pushed harder, swimming toward the shore, hoping to escape. By the time Maria reached the beach, her legs were shaking. She collapsed onto the sand, gasping for breath. Looking back, she saw the stingray slowly swim away into the deeper water. Her friends rushed over, worried about how pale she looked. Maria tried to explain, but they just laughed, thinking she was making too much of it. The next day, Maria was determined to face her fear. She loved the ocean too much to let one strange encounter stop her. As she waded into the water, she saw the same stingray again. This time it swam closer, circling her slowly, as if studying her. Her heart pounded, but she refused to back down. The stingray suddenly lunged toward Maria, leaping out of the water and landing on her back. Startled, she screamed and thrashed, desperate to shake it off. Her friends, along with rescue swimmers, quickly rushed over to help, pulling her onto a nearby boat. The stingray lingered close by, watching her as though it had something important to communicate. Despite her fear, Maria felt an odd sense of curiosity. What if the stingray wasn't trying to hurt her? What if it was trying to send a message? Gathering all her courage, Maria told the crew she wanted to return to the water. The rescue team was hesitant, but agreed to stay nearby, ready to help if anything went wrong. Maria slowly slipped back into the water, her body trembling with a mix of fear and determination. The stingray approached again, but this time it moved more slowly. Instead of jumping or nudging her, it swam a little way off, paused and turned, almost as if it was waiting for Maria to follow. Trusting her instincts, Maria swam after the stingray. It led her toward a group of rocks close to the shore. The rescue crew watched from a distance, keeping a close eye on her. As Maria got nearer, she noticed something caught among the rocks. Her heart dropped. A baby stingray was tangled in a fishing net, struggling to break free. Maria quickly realized what was happening and signaled the boat for help. Someone threw her a small knife, and she swam closer to the trapped baby. The mother stingray stayed nearby, watching carefully. With steady hands, Maria began cutting through the net, fighting against the strong current. After a few tense moments, the baby stingray was finally free. It quickly swam toward its mother, and the two swam around in circles, almost as if they were celebrating. Maria felt a rush of relief and happiness. She had saved a life, and the stingray's persistence had made it possible. Back on the boat, Maria watched the two stingrays disappear into the deep blue ocean. A feeling of wonder washed over her, and she couldn't shake the thought that what she had just experienced was something truly special. The bond she felt with the ocean and its creatures had grown stronger in a way she couldn't describe. That day changed Maria's life. She became a passionate advocate for marine conservation, telling her story to raise awareness about the dangers facing sea creatures. Maria worked hard to protect the ocean she loved. She campaigned for better fishing regulations and made sure people understood the importance of preserving marine habitats. Her efforts started to pay off. The local government passed stronger fishing laws, and more people began to care about the ocean. Though Maria received awards and recognition, the greatest reward for her was knowing she made a real difference. Years later, Maria often returned to the spot where she had freed the baby stingray. Sometimes, she swore she saw the same stingray swimming in the distance, almost as if it was thanking her. For Maria, the ocean remained a place full of mystery and beauty, a constant reminder of the deep connection between humans and nature. Maria's story became a legend in her town, a tale of courage, love for the ocean, and the power of listening to nature's silent calls. That's all for today. If you found Ciara's story moving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more heartwarming animal tales here on the Animal World. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.